And here we go in week number 2. We started off with a classic Michigan versus Coastal Carolina as the running back for Michigan just takes away and runs over the score. Already up 24-0 in the second quarter. Then McCall back to throw. He's going to fire it to Bedgood. And he's going to have a clean way all the way around to the 35. But unfortunately, they don't score there. And being an interception. Then on 3rd and 4, on the little screen pass, it worked to perfection. Haskins breaking tackles. He was just having an awesome day today. Yeah, he was so good in the running game and receiving game. He had 3 touchdowns on today. McCall in the second quarter still looking back to fire deep, and he's got a man open. It's the fullback, Jared Clark. And the walk-on freshman that just came from Iowa, and now we saw how physical Caden McNamara was. We weren't sure how physical, but he was very physical this game and very aware as they're up 45-7. Then on a 4th down, Coastal Carolina could not get it to go. And that was just kind of day for them. The defense for Michigan was stepping up, making plays, getting tackles, interceptions, like right here. Almost a pick 6, good tackle by McCall. And that was pretty much it. Michigan goes on to win it 59-7. Then in the LSU and BYU game, Max Johnson as the starting position for LSU goes down the middle to Eric Gilbert for 16 yards. He was having a big day today as they were up early in this game and also in the halfway through this game. Then Chris Curry makes a couple of cuts, breaks a tackle, and he has got his first rushing touchdown of the game. Of the season. Yeah, he was just so phenomenal this game. And then Zach Wilson trying to take a deep shot, trying to make some plays happen in the end zone to his favorite receiver, but it was intercepted. Yeah, the LSU cornerbacks are all locked up on Lala position. Then on 2nd and 10 in the 4th quarter, Zach Wilson gets sacked for a loss of 7. Yeah, that's exactly kind of day for BYU. LSU defensive line was sacking him all day. And then Max Johnson on 2nd and 5. Down the far side of Racey McMath, who got his first career receiving touchdown. And people are already having worry sights of LSU's offense this year. Then Zach Wilson tries to air it deep, and he's got a complete to his favorite receiver, Neil Powell, who they tried to lock up multiple times. They did very good, but that one play ended up being a touchdown to Isaac Rex. But that is unfortunately all they will score, and that pretty much eventually led to them losing this game. Yeah, we talked about how phenomenal he was and how Zach Wilson in the pocket, how they're going to do, how is BYU's offense going to do, but unfortunately they didn't show it today. They didn't show much today because LCD was just so on point. I saw the extra point there. And we saw a lot of LSU's defense and offense showing up here. Then, on the onside kick, BYU has one chance to make it happen, and they couldn't recover. The onside kick goes down quickly, and that'll pretty much do the whole game. LSU went on to win it 35-21. Then, in the Week 2 Classic, the top 10 matchup comes versus Notre Dame. Trevor Lawrence struggled here. Yeah, he threw 3 interceptions in the first half, and then one right here in the 3rd quarter. And that set up a touchdown for Notre Dame. Going to give it off to Kyren Williams. Yes, he was so good this game. Matter of fact, he looked like he could be running for the Heisman candidate. Then on 2nd and 1 in the 3rd quarter with 4 minutes left to go, Lawrence pump fakes, tries to throw a deep ball, double covered. Yeah, I just really didn't think any way why he would throw that, but that was the kind of day for Notre Dame. The thing was they were pressuring Trevor Lawrence so much to make him force balls. And then, on the alternative side, Clemson gets a turnover. That was so much needed for this game. Yeah, the offense wasn't stepping up, so the defense had to step up. They only allowed 150 yards passing. Then a fumble on 4th and 5. Lawrence fumbles it, and he recovers it back up, but it's still turnover on downs. And Notre Dame will take the ball there. And then, most likely their last chance, have to score 2 touchdowns at least. 2 minutes left to go. And it throws an interception yet again, the 3rd that half. And Notre Dame goes on to win it 31-17 against Clemson as Lauren tries to make it again. Those are short. And Notre Dame actually gets the upset over Clemson. And yeah, if you talk to the Notre Dame head coach about that, he was really happy. Then we had some week 3 action. We had Cincinnati versus Coastal Carolina. Ridder, so dynamic and so dual threat, already took it to the house for 45 yards. Yeah, he was just so good this whole game. So poised in the pocket. Didn't phase not once. Then Ridder with the screen pass on 3rd and 15. Jerome Ford's just going to break some tackles and still get the first down. We're going to closer look. The hit, what calling the field was he was still alive, and apparently he stayed in bounds, which is very good balance. And Cincinnati or Coastal Carolina just had a tough time bringing them down. Then over the middle, did Deion Fountain, first career passing touchdown for McCall, and they finally get on the board. 7-21. Still, it's just the first half. And then look at this player here. That is the top play of the week. He deflected the ball and still caught it. They would review it, but the call would stand. Then on 2nd and 3 for Jared Dokes, he's just going to run it up the middle, and then he's going to fumble it. But then Bruno LaBelle, the tight end, recovers it. See, so many plays. Might as well call it lucky. And then Coastal Carolina busted the defense for Cincinnati some a little bit, but that wouldn't change the difference. Coastal Carolina would still go down 20-50. As you see right here, Isaiah Likely gets loose for the biggest break of the day for Coastal Carolina, and but they still eventually end up losing by 30. Then we got some pretty good SEC action. Alabama versus Texas A&M. Jones on 3rd and 9 finds Jalen Waddle to the 36-yard line. Yeah, that was his go-to target today. Devontae Smith was kind of in and out, so he just had his go-to back up there. Then on 3rd and 6 for Texas A&M, in the 4th quarter, we're going to transition there. Kellen Mond using his legs to find a lot of room. Yeah, Kellen Mond didn't use his legs a lot, but he needed to at least try to put up a challenge. Then up the middle to Isaiah Spiller, who gets in for a 2nd rush touchdown of his career, but Alabama will still end up winning this game. And Jones still firing it deep to Jalen Waddle for the touchdown. And he's now got a receiving touchdown on the day. First season so far. Then on 2nd, so we got Iowa versus Iowa State action. Spencer Petras, a lot of time in the pocket on the first play, throws it deep, and what a catch what a catch down the field. That will end up going for a touchdown on 2nd and goal here. Iowa looking to come back. Spencer Petras just takes it in for himself for the touchdown, and that was just a good play call right there just to keep it for himself, and that was just pretty good. Then Purdy to Breece Hall, the screen pass worked to perfection all the way down to the 5-yard line on 24-yard gain. That was just so good. Breece Hall was just so physical in the back. And then they had a little trick play with the linebacker, Sam Renger, and he got in for the score. Yeah, I was a little bit confused on that play, whether he'll run it or not. But yeah. And then Patriots looking down the middle, throws an interception. With 30 seconds left, that would seal the deal. And eventually, Iowa would lose this game. And Iowa State takes the trophy, the Cyclone Trophy, and wins it 38-17 over Iowa. And we saw how the players were very excited about this win tonight. Then we had some Week 3 action. Coastal Carolina versus Alabama at Coastal Carolina Field. This one wasn't a blowout. A lot of people thought. As we saw Jaquez Harrison for 20-yard gain. This wasn't a blowout. And people were surprised by at halftime was tied up. Then the backup QB, Chance Thrasher, comes in and scores a touchdown after Grayson McCall gets injured late in the game. Yeah, we saw how Grayson McCall went down and Chance Thrasher just took over. And then we saw how the defense for Coastal Carolina was stepping up so many times. Yes, we saw how they picked up Mac Jones twice in this game. It's very good by Coastal Carolina. That's what they needed to win this game. But eventually Chance Thrasher throws an interception that gets Alabama right back in the field. And then on 4th and 4, the last chance for Alabama, Jones gonna fire it deep to Jalen Waddle to the 40. Yeah, he was just so clutch trying to find him. Coastal Carolina players didn't really worry about Jalen Waddle that much late in the game. Then Mac Jones to Jalen Waddle again, the connection. And we saw how that will end up being a touchdown. Yeah, he was just so good with running his routes. And that ended up tying the game. Then on 3rd and 22, when they thought it was just going to go to overtime, Grayson McCall fires deep with Dion Fountain to the 50-yard line and all the way to the 45. And people thought, oh, they still got time. But then on 1st and 15, McCall's going to throw it deep again, try to get as much yards, but throws an interception that would end up being his first of the game. So we head to overtime. Alabama gets the ball first. Then Brian Robertson, for the injured Najee Harris, breaks in the goal line, punches it in for the touchdown. Alabama gets their first lead of the game, surprisingly. Then on 4th and 6 for Coastal Carolina, McCall fires it deep to the end zone. What a play. Yeah, his awareness is just so good and so keen like that. He can see all across the field to his go-to receiver. Then Brian Robinson again goes in for the score. He got 2 touchdowns on the way. And that would end up losing it. That would end up winning it for Coastal Carolina. Sorry, for Alabama. They would win it by 3 after Coastal Carolina made the field goal. Alabama scored a touchdown. Then we got another SEC action. Tank Bigsby on the right side past the 50. Charles, he was having a big game today. Yes, he was. He had so many rushing yards, over 150 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. He was just so physical in that back. Then TJ Finley for Max Johnson. When people thought Max Johnson was starting, but he got injured early in this game, TJ Finley came in, and he was surprising a lot of people, but also made mistakes. Yeah, very costly mistakes, and that was helpful to Auburn because they took the lead right on this play. Bo Nix to fire to Seth Williams, his go-to man, and Auburn takes their first lead of the game. They were so good with the play action and the rollout passes. Bo Nix is just so dangerous. Then TJ Finley, 1st and 10 off his back foot, just fires it to Racey McMath, who had a big game against BYU a couple weeks ago. Then on 1st and goal, Finley goes down the pocket and fires what a play to Eric Gilbert. Yeah, that was just confusion by the Auburn defense. They ran into each other on that route. That was just a good play call. Then on 3rd and 10, Bo Nix to fire it deep. And what a catch by Seth Williams. You know that man is dangerous. Yeah, if this was, I don't know. If he was in Madden, he would have such a good rating. Then on 4th down, unfortunately, Bo Nix got sacked. He tripped and stumbled, and that would be the end of the game. LSU will go on to win it 38-35. Then we got a little Pac-12 action, our first Pac-12 of the game. And what a run by Sean McGrew. Yeah, this offense was very quiet because this USC defense was so dominant in the pocket. Then they're already up 35-7 as we saw Kedon Slovis, the number one QB so far, leading in passing yards this season so far. And then, as we saw, just a nice throw and catch right there. Then on 2nd and 7 for Kedon Slovis, looking for the deep ball. Throws it short instead, but he still makes it happen, breaking 2 tackles all the way to the end zone. Yeah, we haven't heard much from Tyler Vaughn. We weren't sure he was going to play. But he came back, and he was just so physical and so strong. Then on play action, on 3rd and 22, he's going to fire it deep, and he's going to make the catch. But then it ended up being 4th and 4. And then eventually up being a turnover. Yeah, they were just having a tough time in the pocket, watching themselves to figure out their QB situation because he wasn't that much good. And then on 2nd and 10, Slovis still slinging that football all the way to the 40 to Tyler Vaughn. Again, he had over 100 receiving yards and a touchdown. And then on 1st and goal, when people thought it was over already, they thought it would just go in for a touchdown again to Stephen Carr, who gets his first rushing touchdown in the game. Yeah, they just thought to get a lot of other players into the action, but still keep Kedon Slovis in, yeah. Then on 3rd and 18, Washington's screen pass that worked very well. Couldn't get that offense going early in the game, which was the problem leading up. USC go on to win this game 49-7. A blowout loss. USC's first blowout win of the season. And while Washington's first blowout loss ever so far in the past 10 seasons. Then we head over to the SEC for Georgia versus Arkansas. Jaden Daniels showing his physicality and runs over the defender and goes in for a 4-yard touchdown. Yeah, Jaden Daniels was so good late in the season last year, and they just kept him in instead. Then we saw a very good catch right there. Look at the replay to Treylon Burks. What a catch over the shoulder, back shoulder. The Florida transfer, the QB, Felipe Franks, he was just so good, yeah. And then on 4th and 12, looking to make something happen, broken up on the sideline, and that would end up costing them the game. Yeah, Felipe Franks in the pocket wasn't really going that well. Then Zamir White breaking away in the defense. He's trying to get a score in the game, and they go on to win this game 41-17 over here. So now we're going to have our top 5 picks. Cam, why don't you go first? Well, yeah, I had Alabama because they were really good with Mac Jones, Jalen Waddle. And then I had Georgia, then Ohio State, then Clemson, then USC. USC's in there because they're so dominant. And Blake, I had Alabama as well. But then I also had Ohio State because we haven't saw much of their games, but according to last year, they were really good. Then I had Georgia. That was pretty good, as we just saw. Then USC with their blowout win over Washington. Then I also had Clemson regarding to that Notre Dame loss. Thank you for watching.